Hey you! Welcome back to Weekday. Today's episode is for my dad. And I need you to know something before I start. This one might take a minute. And that's okay, because my dad deserves all the minutes. So let's get into it. I met my dad in a CPS visitation room. Now, the reason we were there in the first place, that's a talk for another day. But that's how our story starts. Not in a nursery, not in the hospital room, not in some picture-perfect family moment. A visitation room. And he had a tea party with me there. I don't remember any fancy toys. I don't remember some big, heartfelt speech. I remember tiny little teacups and a man who showed up gently. When I was 5 years old, he got full physical and legal custody of me. And when I moved in with him, I didn't talk to him at all. I lived in his house, I ate his food, I slept under his roof, and I would not speak to him. I need to say this clearly, okay? I wasn't a bad kid. I was a confused and scared little girl. I was trying to understand what safety felt like, and safety felt unfamiliar to me. He didn't force me. He didn't yell at me. He didn't demand that I love him, okay? He just stayed. And then, one day, everything changed. I remember he was dating someone at the time, and she had 2 sons who were a little bit older than me, not by much, but, they were being mean to me. They were just kids being mean, but to little me, it felt really big. And I remember my dad walking up to them and saying, "You better stop being mean to my little girl." My little girl. And I remember looking up at him like, wait a second, I'm yours? Something shifted in that moment. I wasn't just a responsibility. I wasn't just paperwork. I wasn't just custody. I was his little girl. And from that moment on, he was my hero. And we've been best friends ever since. I was homeschooled for a while. Instead of after-school clubs and carpool lines, I traveled the country with him in a big rig. Truck stops and trinkets, sunrises in different states, long highways, and conversations. He taught me how to read a map, how to keep a logbook, and even how to strap a load down. And that might sound small, but it wasn't. It wasn't just him raising me. He was preparing me, teaching me I could handle things, teaching me I wasn't fragile. We built a life together on the road and off. We lived on farms. We lived in the city. I'm fortunate enough to have had a great upbringing with my dad. And then life happened. There was a stretch of time where we didn't talk. And to be honest, that was on me. I let pride get loud. I let distance grow. I let stubbornness sit where love should have been louder. Sometimes we hurt the people who love us the most, not because they deserve it, but because we think they'll always be there, right? And then COVID hit. And my dad got really sick. And I mean really sick. He had a trach. He was on a ventilator. He was in a coma. And because it was the heart of COVID, I couldn't even be there with him. He was all alone in a complete other state on the other side of the United States. He didn't even have his other family with him because he was away for work when he got sick. Everything was video calls. I remember looking at a screen, seeing my dad laying there, machines breathing for him, and I started mourning him. He wasn't even dead, but I was grieving. I was grieving the possibility. I was grieving the fear. I was grieving the thought of a world that didn't have my daddy in it. And I realized something in that season. I didn't want to know that world. I didn't want to live in a world where I have let pride be the last chapter of our story. So I started writing him letters in a red notebook. I wrote him pages and pages. Things that I should have said, things I was sorry for, things I loved about him, memories I didn't want to lose, right? And over those video calls, I would read those letters to him while he laid there. I would play him songs that made me think of us or that made me think of him. I talked to him like he could hear me. I loved him like he could hear me. I apologized like he could hear me. And whether he remembers it or not, I do. That season changed me forever. It stripped away ego and stripped away pettiness. It stripped away the illusion that we have unlimited time. And by the grace of God, he survived. He came off the ventilator. The trach got removed. He healed. He learned to walk again, and he fought his way back. And my dad, I got him back. But more than that, I got my relationship with my dad back. Over the course of my life, my dad has given me a lot of things, material and otherwise. But the bestest thing that he's ever given me is my bonus mom. And with their love has brought me my younger brother and my little sisters. My little sisters are 11 and 13, and my brother is 17. I never really thought I was missing out on the lack of having a mother, but my bonus mom, man, she's a wonderful woman. And my little siblings are the best I could ask for, and I love them so, so deeply. My dad built something beautiful out of something broken. He chose me. He chooses me. He defended me. He defends me. He raised me. He forgave me. He survived. And if you're listening to this and you have your dad, don't wait. Don't wait for a hospital bed. Don't wait for a ventilator. Don't wait for a what if. Say the thing, send the text, make the call. And if your relationship is strained, fix what you can fix. Pride is loud, but regret is louder. And if you don't have your dad anymore, I truly am sorry. Honor him. Tell the stories. Keep his voice alive in the way that you live. This week's challenge is simple. Write the letter. Write the letter you would read at their bedside. And instead of saving it for a hospital room, give it to them while they can still hear it. Don't wait. Before we close this out, there's something I feel I need to say. When my dad was on that ventilator, I was grieving him, and he wasn't even gone. I was grieving the sound of his voice, the thought of never hearing him call me his little munchkin again. I was grieving memories that hadn't even stopped happening yet. And I don't think we talk about that kind of grief enough. The kind that shows up before death. The kind that lives in hospital updates. The kind that sits in your chest while you try to prepare for a goodbye you're not ready to say. Next week, we're going to go there. We're talking about anticipatory grief. About loving someone while you're terrified you're losing them. About what that does to your heart and how it changes you. Because if you've ever sat in a waiting room or stared at your phone waiting for a doctor to call, you know that grief doesn't wait for funerals. It always shows up early. But for today, Daddy, if you're listening, and I know you are, because you always show up for me. Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for making me your little girl. I love you forever. This has been Weekday. Hold your people close, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Until then, stay real, stay raw, stay curious.